years is very telling of our attitude towards the artists, not the art. And so when I was doing this cartoon, I was really upset because I was seeing everybody sending in condolences. Everybody is paying tribute. I remember like a few months ago, the old man was in hospital asking for assistance. And even those who went did it with cameras in tow. You know, so when I was doing this cartoon, I was just expressing my anger. That's how I felt, that let's also love the artists as well as loving the artwork they produce. All right, and you as cartoonists, of course, you've been celebrating also Hurst, who died, and you did it also posthumously. Isn't that so, Ika?
Well, most of the cartoons that we do are normally not positive as such, but we make people see the other side of the story. So normally, people get angry at us, that we're very negative, but actually you're opening your eyes to see, the other side of something. Yeah.
You were celebrating your own as well. That is what we also talking about. We had Hurst who passed on. What did you do as a community? I mean, as a community of cartoonists celebrating your own?
Yeah, we considered Terry Hurst, who was a cartoonist even from the 60s,
yes,
and 70s, as our father, the father of cartoonists. Getau was the grandfather of cartoonists. And we grew up, we the second generation of cartoonists in this country grew up through their work. They're the people who inspired us. And they're very old men, by the way. Terry Hurst died when he was 82. Getau now, he's still alive, and he's well and kicking, but he's 86. And we realized that there is this thing of people celebrating legends in this country, because they are legends according to us when they pass away. And we decided, since these are old people, we need to show them that we appreciate what they did for us. So about 2 years ago, we got together as the association KATUNI, and we organized a luncheon for them. Actually, the guest of honor was the Chief Justice of Kenya, Dr. Willy Mutunga, and the Nation Media House CEO, Linus Gitahi. And we had a luncheon with these two gentlemen. Unfortunately, we could not celebrate Frank Odoi. He was not with us there because he had died just a few months prior to that. But that is when we realized we need to celebrate these people before. I mean, when they are still alive.
When they can appreciate it.
Yeah. Because some of them may not know us. You know, we are quite many. They may not know us, but we know them so well. So we got together so that they could know us, the people they've mentored, because people like Terry Hurst, they've mentored so many people that they may not even know. They're not even aware of them. But we got together, had lunch together with them, and give them some gifts, so that they can actually see that we appreciate what they did for us.
Okay, blow by blow, let us just go through your works, and of course this will bring out some of the issues that were weighing on your mind, current and past, and how the government is doing, and also how Wanjiku is being affected, because you speak for the populace, you speak, across the spectrum, looking at the government, looking at Wanjiku, the society in its entirety. Of course, now we want to see, we continue with you, Victor. We have the next cartoon there that should be up on your screen, and we can see what is happening right now. This is a big story, right? We can see helicopters hovering all over that place. We can see also the sheep, the security personnel inside there, and we have a Kenyan. Victor, this was drawn by you.
Yeah.
What were you trying to tell Kenyans?
Well, I was actually telling the government that we'd appreciate the same level of security every day. We know Obama is coming, and it's great. Of course, the level of security that he commands is justifiable, but I also would like to see more boots on the street for us as well. That when I talk using my cell phone in the street, I'm not afraid of being robbed. So just saying that we've had in Peketoni, we've had Garissa, we've had Mandera. if you have the same vigor, the same enthusiasm in protecting even the normal citizens, it would be a better place in Kenya. Yes.
And of course, we've seen Obama reacting to this as well, saying Kenyans really have to put up with this. Yeah, it's just going to be uncomfortable for a while, but
Yes.
afterwards, all your security will resume. So, are we seeing, a heightened security? Then we go back to the normalcy, that the normal security that has been happening in the country.
Exactly. That's why the president coined the statement, "The security starts with you." So that is probably status quo. After Obama is gone, we'll probably go back to security starts with you.
But prior to that, you had also John Kerry, and we can see John Kerry there with President Uhuru Kenyatta, also trying to adjust the thermostat there,
Yeah.
thawing relations.
Yeah.
Right? And we know, of course, he came here in the country after a long while. We were saying Kenya has been slighted off by the U.S., but John Kerry was here. Frosty relationships that people are saying we have between Kenya and the U.S., that was actually mended somewhat. What were you thinking about this frosty and the thawing relationship?
It was interesting. This administration, when it came into power, had a lot of vitriol and was complaining a lot about the West. And there was this famous facing East statement. But as time progressed and we saw that they actually were changing tune and they're saying, yes, we'll face East, but keep our old friends. And then as time progressed, now we're seeing that Kerry comes and they're all hugging and kissing once more. Now Obama coming is probably just validating that they've changed positions and say, yes, East is good, but we really want to stick with the West. In my thinking, that was what I was thinking. It was very frosty at the beginning, but by and by we see things thawing up, them calling them friends. I remember the deputy president saying, you see now they're coming, isn't that confidence in our administration? So things are changing in terms of the attitude. Yeah.
All right, we shall also move now to Celeste. Celeste, you're up next there. And this is actually, let me just try and put it on full screen. You can see there. How do I work with these arms, right, or legs of government? This is the executive. What were you thinking when you're coming up with this particular editorial cartoon?
Thank you. I did this cartoon at a time when there was fighting between Parliament and the legislative arm of government, yes, and the judiciary. And, they all need to work together somehow for the country to run, for government to function. So it was just my interpretation of the situation at hand, a very tough stance from the legislature, a very tough stance from the judiciary, and it felt like it was dragging down the executive, and they were really unhappy about it. So that was just my interpretation about what was happening then.
Right. We have John Uzanging on the line. Well, of course, he wants to share a contribution or also ask a question. Right, we're being told he's dropped, but we'll just get back to him. Right, but do you critique one another's, each other's works? When you look at the Standard Today or the People's Daily, and you look at Victor, and you come to Daily Nation, you look at IGA, the Standard, you look at CAM. What do you normally think? Let CAM answer that.
Yeah. First of all, being much older than they are, I have a duty to mentor them. And I have had the opportunity to, with working with most of them, even before they were in the newspapers. And we also give them, some advice. And we also critique their work. I remember I usually call whenever I see something really good, I usually call some of the artists and tell them that was fantastic. That was fantastic.
So when was the last time you called either or some of them here?
2 days ago.
2 days ago. One was called here.
Yes.
Okay, let's look at one interesting one by IGA also. This is depicting, I think this was last Monday that IGA actually came up with this particular cartoon. And we can see there a family in the house. They're just comfortably looking at the television. And interesting enough, this is NTV, and it's a gospel show. And we have them talking there. They're saying, hey, that is quite provocative. Can't they play some gospel music, especially at this hour? Then we have the young one saying, that is gospel, man. Right? Iga, What were you thinking about this particular cartoon when you came up with this?
I went off politics.
You went off politics?
Yeah, to look
You
at
just
society.
felt you had a chock full of politics in this country when it came to that particular page, nothing else.
Yeah, to make people now reflect on themselves. I decided to have a look at what is happening in the society. It wasn't meant to start a war, but I was actually looking at the way gospel music is today. Yeah, there's a time you could listen to gospel and feel it is really gospel. But today, if you watch TV, you can't really tell the difference between secular and
gospel.
Yeah, from what is happening. I don't want to go into details.
So what was the reaction? Because I know so many people responded to this particular cartoon.
Well, I didn't really...
Was it thumbs up? I think now you've spoken for so many that they didn't really have a voice.
Okay, most of the people who react are normally those who feel aggrieved.
Aggrieved.
Yeah, so you can expect all that.
All right. Let's hear from John, who is back on the line. Good morning, John.
Hello, my name is Joe.
Yes.
Oh, I'd like to know, Cartooning is a platform.
Yes.
Do you think we can help and fight corruption in Kenya? Being such a big hit that even Obama
Yes.
did mention it as the main hit that's pulling us back to the country.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. You got his question there. Any one of you want to respond?
I didn't exactly hear what he said.
We didn't quite get it.
With the corruption also in the country, I didn't quite, but I got the gist of it. With the corruption in the country, how are you also trying to lead with your cartoons and caricature and trying to bring these issues of corruption? Are you also corrupted in any way? Maybe I may go off on a tangent to, do you get politics also coming into play? Someone now pushing something, greasing your hands so that you can actually draw or something related to them?
Yeah, that happens so much, but we really do not like going that direction, because as social commentators and even political commentators, our role is to inform the public. We do not, as such, glorify politicians. That is not our work. We do not glorify politicians, so we do not take kickbacks and things like that, because first of all, the cartoon has got to go through the editor, who approves it.
Yes.
He may not have given you the idea of doing it, because that is not the way we work.
Yes.
But he has to approve it. First of all, it has got to conform with the newspaper policy.
Yes.
All the newspapers across the board have their own policies. And when it comes to corruption, we try and show the society the kind of corruption that is there. What is being done about corruption? Because like now, the war on corruption that we have right now, it is a complete mess as it is now, because you can see there are graft cases that are there. Some of them are being thrown out. Some of them are actually going through. The politicians are there. My tribe, my people, I'm being targeted because I'm from a certain community, such things. That should not even be the case in a civilized country. And we try to show people that should not be the case.
All right.
Because if you are corrupt, you are not corrupt. You are not benefiting even your own community.
Right.
So going back to your community and saying that I'm being targeted for this, you did not eat with the community.
Okay.
Actually, when you are corrupt, you are actually dehumanizing your own people.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, let's just look at one of your pieces there. And of course, there has been a great debate with the IFMIS. And you say there that I would like to register in IFMIS to participate in government tenders for youth and women. My sister, don't worry about the tender process. I'll take care of it. Public Procurement Oversight Authority will never know. And then we can see there the briefcase. Katakona contractors. This is what has been happening with IFMIS. I want one of you to just respond on the work. If you are to criticize and, of course, hail Kam's work, what would you say, Victor?
Well, it's difficult criticizing one of your mentors, but since I have an enviable task of doing that, I think it's well put, but if I was to do it, I would probably go with less text.
Less text.
Yes.
You hold the same opinion, Iga?
Well,
We talk of simplicity, that we don't have to really have the text for you to actually pick it out, isn't it? Right? What do you think, Iga?
in everything that you do, people will always have an opinion.
Yes.
Like what Vic is saying, he could go with less text. And then there's always that one thing that you see missing in something, because there's how you look at things. If you tell us to do something today, like this Obama visit, we're going to do it differently. He'll capture something, I will see something different. So every time, you'll see something that was left out.
All right.
Yeah.
Celeste?
It's a very good piece, and unfortunately, in this with this form of art, you only have one chance to make a point. And as a cartoonist, I understand sometimes there's so much you want to put in one page, and sometimes you're just forced to use words because you can only portray so much with image. So words sometimes also help people understand the cartoon better. So I really have no qualms with it. It drives the point home. Yeah,
all right.
Thank you.
Okay, then we have also Victor's cartoon, which is up, Comedy of Errors. And we can see there, this is what was happening with security concerns in this country. Remember that plane that went to Yemen and then it came back. Yeah, if you're to criticize this, come.
Well, I cannot criticize it. I cannot criticize it. I can only hail it.
You can hail it.
Yes, because it was to the point.
It was to the point.
That was a complete circus.
It was a circus. And this is what you see here, a complete circus.
Yes. So I cannot criticize it at all. I can just hail it.
You can just hail it.
Yes.
Iga?
I second come.
Celeste?
Yeah, it's a brilliant cartoon. It is.
It
really,
is.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about your security as we are winding up. And because we know also security has been a big concern. You remember the Charlie Hebdo, and when it comes also to drawing thin lines between religion, some sector of the society are very sensitive when it comes to their religion and how you portray them. And of course, the biggest issue with Charlie Hebdo was religion and how maybe the Christians actually were portraying the Muslims. And they did take it lightly, and thus we saw what really happened with Charlie Hebdo. When you come up with very contentious issues, very ticklish issues like religion, what is your discretion? How do you use how is your judgment call? Any of you?
Religion is a very sensitive issue, and I know all of us here as cartoonists should probably have had our run-in with issues about religion.
Yes.
So my personal opinion, and I say personal because that's what informs my cartoons when I'm commenting on religious issues, I poke fun at the religious leaders, not the religion.
Not the religion.
Because the religious leaders are human, they make mistakes, they're supposed to be corrected. So I'd probably poke fun at them, but not at the religion.
Not at the religion.
Yes.
Right. But the perception might be very different. What you perceive and now what the reader sees also, it might be diametrically different. How do you make that, try to maybe bridge that rift, between the reader and you, that you are on the same page?
In terms of a cartoon on religion?
In terms of cartoon and not portraying the religion, but, maybe the people who are involved.
That's where you really have to take time, because I also feel we should not shy away from criticizing religious leaders.
All right.
So you really must take time and employ all the tricks and what you've learned about cartooning to make sure that the point is driven home without any confusion.
All right.
And just make it extremely clear.
Okay. Now, let's look at a cartoon that Celeste, you drew. Of course, this is in court right now, and we have a barrel there. This is a gun, and the barrel is a mouth, personifying the mouth, so to speak, and shooting, yourself in the foot. What's hate speech? I will never apologize for free speech. That is what Moses Kuria is saying. When you come up and you're very bodacious with such a cartoon, Don't you feel sometimes your security is threatened somehow? They might come for me. I mean, what goes through your mind?
That cartoon is open to interpretation.
Yes.
There are those who will take offense.